avionics classmates. This is my final project, the Garmin GTN 650 by me, Vince Ochoa. I'm hoping this method will be acceptable because I really tried the Kaltura thing throughout the entire quarter and could not figure it out. I barely made an account today and I still can't figure out how to do it. Anyway, let's dive in. So, in my opinion, the G650 is the perfect middle ground. It's smaller than the G1000, it's cheaper than the G1000, yet it does all the same things. So, why would you get the bulk sized one when you can get a compact one that does the same exact stuff? It's pretty much the perfect bridge between the past and future because it's small enough that it can replace all your avionics stuff on your co-pilot side. And you can still have your classic six pack right in front of you. It has enough capability to be a fully functioning GPS, and it's a great transition from the steam gauges to the digital era. My personal experience with it is that it's not distracting because of the location of it. It's there when you need it, out of the way when you don't. It's not like the G1000 where it's just in your grill the whole time and that is your PFD. It's your handy dandy MFD, you know. It does what you need when you need it, and it's honestly the best GPS I've used so far. Let me tell you why. The first reason is a touchscreen, which is an upgrade from the previous Garmin models. If you've used the 430 or the 530, it's the one with kind of has a similar looking screen, but everything's like buttons. Nothing is touchscreen. The layout is identical to the G1000, as I mentioned earlier. However, it's compressed into about a 5-inch little screen as opposed to the huge one. Pretty much everything, you're 2 taps away from every primary function. As you can kind of see on here, if you just hit cancel or menu, it takes you right back to where you need to go for everything. And there's also the traditional Garmin knobs for familiarity if you are upgrading from the 430 or 530. If you want, you could, do this slide and enter your airport code, or there's the knobs on the side that you can use. I personally would use both, just kind of depends on the situation. For navigation features of the 650, it's super easy to build or modify a flight plan. As seen in the picture on the left here, you have all your waypoints entered. You can, if you hold it, you can slide it up and down. So if you get vectored somewhere else, or you want to make a quick stop somewhere else or a different waypoint for a sightseeing or something, just enter that, put it in between there, and it'll take you there and then head back to your original path. It has fast find auto nearby search fills when you're typing. So for instance, if you're doing a flight plan from Spokane, GEG to Moses Lake, MWH, type in Kilo Mike, and then it's like, oh, Whiskey Hotel, finish it off for you. So and most of the time it was actually correct in assuming where I was trying to go, which was convenient. It's not like your phone where it's like making up words for you. This one's pretty reliable. Um, the waypoint list as well as visual flight map. So like on these two pictures, the one on the left is the waypoint list, or you can just see the map and have your whole flight plan in front of you. It also has the easy access to the direct to function as well as the main menu buttons, which are very convenient to have. The 650 is also fully IFR capable. It is WAS certified, so you can get those extra low minimums. GPS, LPV, VOR, ILS, any approach you can think of, it has the capability to do so. It preloads the nav frequencies for selected approaches. So for instance, you're doing a VOR approach, it'll pull up the frequency for the VOR, so you don't have to worry about what that frequency is, and you can focus more on the approach itself. Um, you can select from vectors or an initial approach fix, which if you've done an actual instrument flight as opposed to like a training instrument flight, pretty much all you get is vectors as opposed to like a full procedure, so that's very handy. There's also holds and missed approach path outlines, which is extremely handy because you never know when you're going to get a hold or a missed approach. So when those happen, you're kind of not necessarily expecting them or fully prepared for them. And it just makes it that much easier for you because you don't really have to think ahead to that. It'll just kind of. For communication, it also doubles as a fully certified VHS avionics system. So in our planes, for instance, it was literally just the 650. You didn't need the transponder and all that other stuff. It was super convenient to have. Um, it has recent nearby saved frequency options, which is super handy because if you're flying and you actually need to contact a nearby airport instead of having to go through all your papers and maps finding out what the frequency is. You could just hit that nearby option and bam, there you go. Whatever tower is nearby, you can just contact them directly. Um, Also, it automatically displays who or what you are tuned into. So in the picture here, it shows the approach and below it shows the ATIS. And so that way you're not, if you, for whatever reason, forget who you're talking to or what you're tuned to, you don't have to be embarrassed and talk to the ATIS or whatever, stuff like that. It also automatically decodes the Morse code for the selected identifiers. So if you tune in the VOR, it'll just pop up there for you and you don't really have to tune it in. If it doesn't work, it'll just show up as like, I don't remember if it was just like dashed lines or it just showed like unavailable or something. But either way, it's really, it saves you some time and it's helpful. For traffic, weather, and terrain, it is an ADS-B transponder that can display up to 60 nearby aircraft. I don't know what you would be doing in an area with 60 nearby aircraft. That would be terrifying, but if you are, you're covered with that. It has access to the next rad satellite imagery, as we learned in the G1000 uh, presentations, that it also does that. So, again, it's pretty much the G1000. It has METARs, TAFs, winds, temperatures of loss, pyreps, NOTAMs, all at the push of a button. Because it's a touchscreen, you could just like hit this airport nearby and it'll show whatever information your heart can desire. And in addition to all that, it has the safe taxi airport diagrams. So once you're on the ground, if you're at an unfamiliar airport, it'll show, hangars, vehicles, including aircraft and land vehicles, as well as taxiways and all that other good stuff. So you're going to be in pretty good hands with this. So in summary, the G650 is the best. It's basically a G1000 but smaller. It's honestly a really handy co-pilot, and you get to keep the old ways while learning the new. I feel like it's a very good transition from just going from steam gauges, which I'm sure most of us trained on, to like a G1000 type thing just right away. The 650 is definitely what you want to do. And honestly, if I had my own plane, I would probably have that as opposed to the G1000 just because I'm not fully there with the digital stuff. I like the steam gauges a little bit, but the G650 is the best of both worlds. So there you have it, the Garmin GTN 650 and the sources. Thank you for watching.